Hello, welcome to this review of the Transformers Legacy Skullgrin. And here we're gonna take a look at the box first. So on the side here you have a really nice depiction, really nice artwork of Skullgrin. More pictures of Skullgrin right there. Him in his Cybertronian tank form. The side of the box, you have obligatory product shots. Here you have your scannable QR code. And it shows everything that he's supposed to do and that he transforms in 20 steps, alright? That's basically it for the box. And bringing in the figure, this figure is amazing. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect what I'd get from this figure. Like, this thing is honestly amazing. It's really, really fun. It's kind of funny how this whole thing is, because it's supposed to be a pretender. And if you know what the pretenders are, they're just Transformers that pretend to be humans. And in this format, they kind of combine Skullgrin's pretender form and the robot that was underneath, which gives for a pretty nice very nice look. Looking at the accessories, he has 5 different accessories, one of which is attached to his back, which we'll detach and we'll set him off to the side. And looking at his weapons, we'll start off with his swords. And they are very nicely detailed. They are also guns as well, so if you want to, he can hold them from right here, or you could put them under his arm, as I had before, or use them as an actual sword. He can hold them. And these things are rubber plastic, so not the best, especially since this is painted all gunmetal gray. So that's probably going to chip off eventually for these guys. And coming into the back part of the accessory, we have these little guns. These guns that go on his back, or that you could either put onto his forearms or into his hands for a look if you want to. And here we have this piece, which is meant to be his tail and is also where the cannons go. So they do just plug right in on there, and you can just put the weapons right on there. All right. And looking at the details of this guy, they are astronomically fantastic. It does suck that the horns right here are made out of rubberish like material, but doesn't bother me too much. As you can see, the detail on that is amazing. It looks so much like an actual skull, especially on the one right there in his crotch plate. And minor gripes would be the gaps in his arms, understandable because this will have to fold inside. And gaps inside the legs, but nothing new for deluxe. And the back cleans up pretty well, especially if you take off the whole back assembly. It's very, very clean. Very nice indeed. Very, very nice. The posability on Skullgrin is just as good as the actual look and somewhat feel of the figure. We'll start off with the head here. It is on a rather unlimited ball joint to where you can look all the way up, all the way around, such. The arms do go out around that far. They can go back slightly because of a butterfly joint with the transformation. Full rotation here at the arm. Bicep does swivel the full 360 degrees. It has a over 90-degree elbow bend. The wrist can go up and down due to the transformation, which is really nice when it comes to him holding a sword. He does have a waist rotation, unlimited, but if you do have his back part on, his tail does get in the way of that, so fold it up or just completely take it off entirely. The legs can kick forward, that far, back, that far. You can go out some up, but due to this also being rubber, you kind of have to force it a little bit. Scares me a bit. We do have a thigh rotation right here, 90-degree bend here at the elbow, and a nice and wonderful pivot there at the ankle. Overall, the articulation on this guy is fantastic, especially for deluxe. Waist rotation and pivot at the ankle really surprised me, especially since, you know, some don't have that, and especially the ball joint at the head there. Hopping into the transformation of this guy is really quite simple, so we'll lower this down as we're basically just going to plank him right now. If you want to, you can take off the backpack. You don't have to, but I would recommend to. And as you do that, you want to flip up this tail, as so. Alright, we'll start off with the body. So first, you're going to take the arms, you're going to flip them back, flip both of them back. Then after that, you're going to unplug this part of the head, And then you're just gonna fold down like that, kind of unnecessary, I'll be honest. And then pull up the head here, close these horns, open up the chest area right here, and flip the whole assembly inside of it. We'll close that later, alright? And then for here, we're gonna shift this part down, keep it shifted down, and you're going to rotate the biceps as such. You're going to fold the arms in as such, and they are going to tab together and rest right here on these parts. And then you can just close this part back up. For the legs, you're gonna raise both the feet forward, and then you're gonna bring it back on the joint right here. After which you can undo the treads, pull them up, then you could flip in the feet. Then these are on a double hinge, so you do just slide them forward. They do just tab in, and they'll just slide in as such. And then you just tab them together. Come here to the back. These little ports are gonna go into these slots, so you just slot that in, and then you can just tab this in onto the side of the vehicle, bring it over here. Same thing as the other side. Have it on there. And if you want to, of course, you can put the cannon. You can take the guns right here, put them on the side. There are little tabs for the grooves as such. And then you have the Transformers Legacy Skullgrin, his robot mode. And I'm not gonna lie, this thing just looks like a chocolate bar. A lot of people said it before, but this does not look the best when it comes to tanks, because there's only these back treads, nothing at the front. This just looks like it just turned into a plank. I mean, it's good for what it is. I mean, it's a Cybertronian alien tank, so they can basically do whatever they want with it, or whenever they want with it. And looking at the details here, the little spikes right here look really nice. All the venting detail, more vents, ginormous guns with the gunmetal paint, my bad. And same thing for right here on the treads, and of course on the weapons themselves. Overall, this is a really good figure. A decent alt mode. It's not the best. At the very least, it's mediocre. I mean, this is basically what you would get from an average deluxe for $25. It's not bad. You could get better. There's always better. But for the price that it is, I feel like that it is really worth the money. For a size comparison, so you can really see how big this guy is. Here we have Transformers Kingdom Tracks. Here we have Transformers Legacy Drag Strip. And here he is next to the Transformers Studio Series 86 movie leader class Grimlock. So compared to Grimlock, quite small, makes sense. And that's about it for size comparisons. And for my final thoughts of the figure, for a deluxe class, you are getting quite a lot. You're getting 5 separate accessories, a alright transformation that's not too complicated, a pretty good articulation, and for a pretty, not as well-known character compared to others, it is a pretty good find and a pretty good figure overall. So if you do find it, I would recommend it. 25 is our alright price for what you're getting out of this guy. So in total, I'd probably rate this some 7 out of 10 due to a bit of problems like the gaps or transformation, the vehicle mode not being that good, the rubberized parts. But other than that, this figure's amazing.